Hey guys, are you interested in really taking charge of your morning and helping yourself reach your full potential, whether it's at work or at school? If so, you're watching the right video because in this video, I'm going to summarize a book that I've been reading and putting into practice, and it's called The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. So if you're planning to read it or you already did and you just want a summary, this is the perfect video for you. I'm Janice and you're watching Sharp Cookie. On this channel, we talk all about topics related to learning. Now, this particular video is part of a bigger series that I'm doing focusing on mindset. The more I coach and tutor, the more I realize that we're our own worst enemy. So anyone can pretty much learn anything unless we believe we can't. So there's that famous quote, whether you believe you can or you believe you can't, either way, you're right. And I firmly believe that, which is why I wanted to do this series on mindset. So please watch those other videos after this one. And of course, please subscribe because I post new videos every week. In this book, the basic summary is that there's something called SAVERS. It's an acronym that Hal uses for 6 things that you can do every morning. And in this video, I'm going to go through each one. Now, the most important part about the Miracle Morning is not the details like the order or the time. Those things can be moved around. So some people like to exercise first thing and other people would prefer to journal. It really doesn't matter. So order is not important and neither is the time. You can spend a little more time on one of the Miracle Morning activities and a little less time on the others and switch it around from morning to morning. Hal says that the most important thing is consistency. And that means that you do all of the exercises and you consistently do them every single morning. That is what's going to make the difference for you. Now, before I get into S, pause the video and just leave me a comment and let me know if you have a morning routine. I'm really curious, have you discovered something that really works for you that you can share with others in the Sharp Cookie community? So let us know what you've been doing and what's been working for you. Okay, now S. S is the first one in the acronym and S stands for silence. Now this is one of my personal favorites. I've been leaving time for silence every morning and most evenings for many, many years. I used to do very long, hour-long sits and meditation, and I found that that's really not necessary. So I've shortened it to about 10 or 15 minutes in the morning, and I find that for me, that's all I need. I seem to be able to drop into it really quickly. So again, time is not what's important. It's that you're consistent and you can do it every day. So if you can commit to 5 minutes a day, that is enough for the silent part of the morning routine. Now, it doesn't have to be traditional meditation. It could be a guided recording. You could just sit quietly and think about your day. You can think about what you're grateful for. You can pray for 5 minutes, whatever works for you. Some people even like doing pranayama or breathing techniques, and there's plenty of videos on that you can look up. I personally like alternate nostril breathing. This is something that my parents also do every day, and it's one of my favorite types of breathing exercises. So that's a quick tip if you're not sure on which one to start. During the sit, all you need to do is have conscious silence. That means it's really intentional silence. You're not zoning out. And the other important thing is you're not doing it in bed. So what the book recommends is that you have a place that you go sit. So a chair, a couch, a meditation cushion. I personally like sitting outside on my patio so that I can get some fresh air and it helps to wake me up and I can hear the birds chirping and it's a nice part of my morning. So find a place to sit that's not your bed. All right, so that's it for S. We're gonna move on to A. A stands for affirmations. Now, some people feel like this is really cheesy because they've seen affirmations in movies or done in certain skits like Saturday Night Live, and they feel like it's not really being serious. And quite honestly, some of the most successful people, including Oprah, swear by affirmations and how himself swears by them. I actually made another video on affirmations where I get really deep into it and I talk about how you can design your own and all of those details. So if you want more details on that, you can go to that video. But for this one, we're just talking broadly. Affirmations are I statements that will help you create something in your life that you want. So for example, if you want a healthier body, your affirmation could be, I am getting stronger and healthier every day. Again, if you want more examples of this, you can check out my other video just on affirmations after this one, and that'll help you get started. I even give you a few examples that you can work from. I share some that I use myself, and I also link up different resources for Hal's suggestions for affirmations. Okay, next, we're moving on. Now is V. V stands for visualization. Now, visualization has become very popular with professional athletes and also their coaches. So somebody like Tiger Woods has often said that whether he's in practice or in a professional tournament, he always visualizes every swing before he hits the ball. I know a lot of pro tennis players who have said the same thing, that they usually visualize a match before they go into it, soccer players. So this is very common with athletes. But you can apply visualization techniques to anything that you're trying to do. For example, maybe you have a big presentation coming up that day. So what I recommend to you, to people I coach, would be visualize in the morning that you're succeeding. So that you're imparting the information you want, people are receiving it, they're understanding, and you have an overall good experience. You can imagine yourself where, maybe it's a professor grading you, or you're in a work environment and your boss is congratulating you. Whatever it is, just visualize all the steps and visualize yourself succeeding. Now, of course, this could also work for longer term goals, not just what you happen to be doing on a particular day. Another recommendation is vision boards. So for some people like myself, I'm a visual learner. I've done a whole video on visual learners. And if you are too, that probably means this part is easy for you, and you might even already be doing it without having a name for it. And that was true for me. Visualization was something that I always did. I just thought it was imagination. I thought everybody did it. But really, it's a powerful tool. And if you're not doing it, I definitely recommend doing a vision board, because if you're not already imagining scenarios, successful scenarios in your head, it really helps to cut out images from magazines or print them off the internet and look at them every day. And eventually it will be easy for you just to see these images in your mind. And of course, they go really well with affirmations. So I'll go back to the presentation example. You can visualize yourself going through the presentation, and then you can pair an affirmation together with it. Something like, I am speaking with confidence and ease, and everyone is understanding and accepting and excited about what I am sharing with them. It's as easy as that. So you can combine some of these steps together. Okay, so that's visualization. The next part of the acronym is E. And this one doesn't need a lot of explanation because it's exercise. And it's hard to argue with the benefits of exercise. They're everywhere and it's common sense. But the important thing is that you do it as part of your morning routine. So I know that some people are evening exercisers, and that's great, and you can still do that. But it's important to carve out at least 10 minutes just to get your body moving. It doesn't have to be, quote, your real workout for the day where, you're training for something particular. It just needs to be something where you get your body moving. So for me, I like to do a short yoga practice. Hal also does a short yoga practice. So I definitely recommend that. You can find them again on YouTube for free, and just do a quick 10, 20 minutes, get your breathing, get your body moving and stretching. If you're not into that, there's plenty of other things you can do. Go for a walk, go for a run, sit-ups, push-ups, jumping jacks, Whatever is your thing, just get your body moving in the morning. And actually, motivational speakers talk about this a lot. Motion is emotion. The next letter in our SAVERS acronym is R, and that stands for reading. So it's really important to read something every morning during your morning routine. And in the book, Hal recommends reading 5 pages, at least 5 pages of anything you want. And what I suggest is to be conscious about what you choose to read. So it could be a spiritual book, it could be something inspirational, it could be something self-help like The Miracle Morning. It could be fiction, nonfiction. It really doesn't matter. But think about an area, or maybe it's in your industry that you work in, or an academic topic that you're majoring in school. Whatever it is, be conscious about what you're reading, because when you read, you're planting little seeds in your mind and you're changing your thoughts and your belief system. So for me personally, I like to read something spiritual and inspirational in the morning, because that really elevates my mood and it brings me into a higher place. And then I can take my day and I can approach my day from a different position, from a higher, more positive position. So personally, I read a book called A Course in Miracles, and I've been reading a passage, at least one passage of that book every day for years. So if you're looking for something spiritual and inspirational, you can start there. But of course, there are many books, and you probably already have a list of things that you want to read and you haven't read. So think about that, get excited, think about what you want to read tomorrow morning to set up your day. Okay, and then our last letter in SAVERS, this one is called scribing. So Hal himself had said this is the same thing as writing, but W didn't fit into my acronym very well, so I'm using an S for scribing. So scribing is the same thing as writing or journaling. And there are many, many people that recommend journaling every day. One of my favorites is also a book that I love, which is called The Artist's Way, and I've used this to kickstart my creativity. And it actually inspired me to even start making YouTube videos. So it was all from a book called The Artist's Way, and it was recommended that we journal 3 pages a day, anything at all. So it could just be your thoughts for the day, your anxieties, your plans, your dreams the night before, your gratitude for what's in your life. Anything you want, you can journal about that day. Your fears, your dreams, your goals, what you're excited about, even the mundane things, what you want to eat. Whatever it is, just keep writing. And what Hal recommends is after a while, you review what you wrote in the past, because sometimes you have great creative ideas and you forget about them. So it's really important to look back and mine for those little pieces of gold in your journals that you missed. So that's it. That's the full acronym SAVERS. That's the full Miracle Morning. Of course, I recommend that beyond this summer, if you want to learn more, you actually read the book. So of course, I'm going to link that up below. If you're an Amazon Prime member, you can read it on Kindle for free. That's how I did it. So there's no excuses. All right, thanks so much for watching. Again, you're watching Sharp Cookie. This is a channel about learning. So if you enjoyed this, please subscribe. Please share it with others who might find it really valuable. And of course, I'd really appreciate it if you would like the video. Also, I've linked up my Facebook group below. It's called Sharp Cookie Community, and on there we talk about topics related to this and learning, and I also put a lot of fun learning puzzles on there for you to try out. One more thing is, if you're interested in tutoring or coaching, you can email me at hellosharpcookie@gmail.com. Again, I'm Janice. Thank you so much for watching.